Hi friends, and welcome to a little different video. I haven't done one of these in quite a while, but I felt like I needed to do this now. So, some of you've probably noticed, like, I have played some Sea of Stars on stream and uploaded the VODs, and I've voiced my opinion on those streams as kind of a back and forth on whether I like the game or not, or not totally feeling it. And I was recently watching some other content creators, and the Game Award nominations came out, and Sea of Stars is nominated for like Best RPG of the Year, and I believe it was Best Indie Game as well. Looking at the categories, sorry. I just feel a certain way, and I'm gonna get into it. The reason I feel a certain way is there was a lot of hype about that game, and everything I read, everything I saw was nothing but praise. Everyone was saying how great the game was, that it was amazing, it's awesome, it's a perfect game. And I was like, okay, I must be missing something, right? Like, I have to be missing part of the game because everyone else is saying it's great. Why am I seeming to be like the only one who's not liking it? But then, watching other content creators, especially after the nominations came out, and I finally was seeing other people say that they really just didn't like it that much. Like, they didn't get into it. And I've thought about that a lot, and I kind of wanted to dig into, like, why me personally did not vibe with that game. And also talk about, like, a broader topic of, like, saturation in media and how, you know, different things are perceived and how things are presented to us, and just the thought of, like, you know, we are all entitled to our opinion. It may not be the popular opinion. I'm sure this is not going to be a popular opinion that I have about this game, but it's how it struck my chords. So I want to talk about it because it seems to not be talked about a lot. But I wrote notes because I wanted to, like, stay on task here, try to stay on task. So don't come for me. I oftentimes compare video games to, like, reading a book, especially RPGs. The structures are slightly similar in the sense of, like, you know, if the story in an RPG at the very beginning doesn't catch you enough, just like a book, I'm not going to finish it. I'm not going to slog through, you know, 100 pages of a novel just to try to get to one good part. And that was probably the one thing that I was seeing, that I started to see with all the people that were praising the game. They had finished it. They got all the way through it. I have not finished it. I've only gotten a handful of hours in, like maybe 10 hours. And other people have gotten, like, you know, 60 hours in, or, you know, someone said they played like 50 hours of it and they just never got into it. To me, just like a book, if a game cannot grab my interest within the first, like, hour to 2 hours of gameplay, whether that be with a story or whether that be with some kind of game mechanic that I find fun, it's not worth it to me to play. And something I ran across in the demo that I talked about was I did not like the battle mechanic that much. And then I kind of was hoping that in the main game, when it released, that there would be some kind of change to that mechanic, and there was not. It was exactly what it was in the demo. And to me, that particular mechanic is pretty much what sealed that to me. The action aspect, where you have to time your button press in order to either double hit a boss or double hit a monster or an enemy, or press it in time to, you know, reduce damage. And the tutorial for that mechanic says it's not like a big deal. It's not the end of the world if you don't get it. My experience in playing the game was it was a big deal. If I didn't time the blocks, you couldn't just take hits without blocking them. You just couldn't do that. You would lose. There was no way around it. Same way with the attacking. Like, one of the things we talk about, like in Final Fantasy, especially with healers, it's like you heal less because you killed the monster faster. So with the double hit mechanic, it's like, if I'm not double hitting the monster, I'm not killing the monster faster, which means I'm taking more damage because I'm going through more turns. And what I kind of figured out with that was like, I'm looking at it as an RPG. It is sort of a turn-based RPG with this very action-oriented mechanic. And that was what rubbed me the wrong way, I discovered. I don't want action in my turn-based. At least not action in the sense that it's a make or break on if you're going to be able to complete content or not. Other games that implemented action-type mechanics in turn-based systems would be like Final Fantasy VIII, where you could trigger the gun blade, so it does a little bit more damage. Not the end of the world if you never did it through the whole game. Things like that, like or even, you know, Star Ocean 2. I'm playing the remake right now, and it's not turn-based, right? It's open. You run around the field, you press attack, you have abilities. You gotta pick which way you're gonna go, I think, with that type of mechanic, because it's just not that exciting for everyone to have to like figure it out. And then the relics they give you to try to mitigate some of that, they came later than I would have liked, because you go through the whole first part of the game with no access to those. I ran across them by chance, I think in the first town I got to after the main starting area, and it definitely improved my attitude playing forward. But again, the story itself, while I do firmly believe those who have completed the game and I can see the direction it is heading, I am just not willing to sink that much time into a game that I'm not enjoying to experience the story. That was my main takeaway. You know, if you're going to have a slow burn story, that's totally fine, and that is 100% a valid storytelling option. But if the gameplay part, the other half of your game, is not strong enough to carry the slow burn, it's a no for me, dog. I can't do that. I'm not going to miserable play my way through a game just for the story. I'm just not going to do that. The majority of RPGs I do genuinely enjoy. This is probably one of the very few times that I've started a game and just said, I'm just never going to finish this. I will not do this. And it's also, I'm not willing to watch anyone else play this game either, because the anxiety that I feel trying to do the battles, I cannot watch another person do those fights. It's too much. Things that I think really carried the game, the art style of that game is amazing. The cutscenes, the way everything is drawn, the 16-bit, style, all of that, very good. Gameplay mechanic, not so much. Story, drug, real hard, very early, very hard for me I was not vested in the characters, not vested in the world. Just pieces of it could have been better. And mind you, this is my hot take on this game. It's nominated for awards. Other people love it, say great things about it. I am not one of those people. You can come for me in the comments. I know what's going to happen, because this is atypical of me, probably. But yeah, those were my big things, and I wanted to touch on those things for this game particularly. And I'm not bashing the game in any way, shape, or form, because everyone has their taste. Something that I say with like Final Fantasy 14, especially when we go through these patch cycles and people cry about content droughts or things like that, and I'm like, there's plenty of content in Final Fantasy 14, but not all content is made for all players. Not all games are made for all gamers. That is absolutely valid. 100% valid. So I'm not saying the game is bad. I'm not saying it's trash. I personally did not enjoy my time playing it. Would I recommend it to other people? Maybe. Doubtful. I would be honest about how I feel. I mean, if there's someone who likes the same things I like, I wouldn't recommend it. If it's someone who has a different taste in game than me, sure, I might say, hey, check it out. Like there's aspects of it I didn't personally like, but they may be great for you. You might really enjoy that. That's what I'm saying. Because I don't want anyone to come for me and say that I'm like bashing the game. I'm not. I know there's good things in it. I know people love it. That's great. I did not enjoy that. But the reason I want to bring that up is because of the way I felt about expressing that opinion. You know, all the time, like especially in literature, we'll see people that read things, and some people really like a book and some people really don't. And a lot of times, if the people that really do are really overwhelming and extremely vocal about that, the ones that are critical of the book will typically just keep it to themselves because they're not willing to face the backlash of the fan base, which is pretty much how I felt before making this video. I didn't want to say that I didn't like it because I didn't want fans of the game to come lash out at me because I badmouthed the game. But in watching another content creator, and they just kind of, it wasn't a heavy criticism of the game, it was a passing, this was my experience, I didn't really like it, it's a little frustrating to see it in this category when there are other games that came out this year that probably deserved it just a little bit more, or could also be nominated if that was like a limitation on space. So that's a thing that I'm going to work on, is if I have an unpopular opinion, I'm going to voice it. I'm not going to hold back on these types of things, because one of the big things that I want to do is be critical and analysis of games, just like you would a book or a piece of literature, because it's valid. They're all art forms, and one of the really cool things I think as a society and as a species that we do is we create, we analyze, we see what parts of art are a reflection of our own selves. It's deep. I like it a lot. So just because I didn't like the game, I do see the validity of the game. I see why people would like the game, and I would see that other players who are not me would really enjoy mechanics that are in the game. So don't be afraid to say what you think, even if it wouldn't be that popular. That's my TED Talk today. I don't know why. I just really... Well, it'll be like a short video, I promise. But yeah, I just wanted to, talk about the game. I'm not going to play it anymore on stream. I'm not going to make any more VODs of it. This will pretty much be the conclusion of that. I just cannot bear the thought of playing any more of it. Especially because my gaming time is so limited. That's another thing, As an adult who has a job and other responsibilities, my gaming time is limited. So it's another reason why, the age of the gaming base has moved. We have adults who play video games. That's normal. There are other people that are just like me that do not have the time to slog through something that they didn't enjoy just because the overwhelming opinion of something was that it was great. And I think that it's important for us to take a step back. If you're playing a game and you're not really enjoying it, your time is limited, your time is valuable. Don't just push through it because other people have enjoyed it or other people tell you that it's good. Base it on your own thing. If you want, you can always watch Let's Plays later. It's not the end of the world. Or read a synopsis. It's fine. Be firm. Do what you want to do. That's my talk. Okay. I am done now. Let me know what you think. I'm sure many of you really like that game. I don't hate that game. I just don't want to play that game. So I am going to link the Steam page just so if anyone hasn't played it or anyone doesn't know what I'm talking about, you can go take a look and check it out and see if it's something that you would like to play. And, let me know what you think. But have a really great day, night, weekend, weekday, whatever. And I'll see you guys in another video. And I hope that I get to make more of these like discussion-y type videos because I like talking about this kind of stuff. But yeah, thanks again, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!